Hey guys, so welcome to our kitchen today. We are excited to share with you a recipe that we have used for over 12 years to can our own tomato sauce. It is a super simple recipe. If canning is new to you or something that you have never tried, I truly think something like tomato sauce is one of the easiest things that you can start with. And something that I love about this recipe is it's something that is done in a hot water bath canner. So you don't have to jump right in with a pressure canner, and it is just so quick and easy. There are a lot of different methods for doing tomatoes and canning tomatoes, but this particular method is just so easy. It is done with a blender mixer. We use our Vitamix mixer, and it makes it go so quick, and we basically use the water bath canner just to heat up our jars. You don't actually have to process your jars with the tomato sauce, which is awesome. So again, this is a recipe that has been passed down from my family and comes out of a Amish cookbook, which is really neat to be able to see how simple it is, and I will show the recipe at the end and also have it for you in a form that you can print off. So I hope you enjoy as we walk you through this process today and show you the basis. I'll just give you a quick rundown. Basically, we wash our tomatoes, we cut them in half. We use mostly Roma tomatoes, Amish paste tomatoes. They're great for canning. And after they are cut in half, we throw them in our Vitamix uncooked. We blend them up until it is a beautiful sauce consistency. We then pour that into our pot on our stove and cook that down for usually about a half hour. And then once your liquid is hot, you heat up your jars, and your jars are hot and your rings and lids are hot. It's time to put it all together. Put your hot sauce in your hot jars, put your lids on, and you have beautiful tomato sauce. So we kind of make it an all-purpose sauce. I thicken it with tomato paste, and I basically just use Italian seasoning or some fresh herbs depending on what I have on hand. And then this is what we use through the year in our soups. We use it on pizza, we use it for pasta, and it's a great all-purpose recipe. I will tell you, we do like a little bit of sweetness in our sauce, so you can always adapt that in the recipe as you taste it and try it out yourself. But we're excited to show you a little bit of this process today. So please, as always, let us know if you try the recipe out. We would love for you to tag us either on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube and show us, or feel free to at any point message us or comment below. If you have any questions, we'll do our best to help you. So here we go. We're going to get started with our tomato sauce. So we have Carter and Katie both working on cutting up tomatoes. So we use mostly Roma and paste tomatoes, and they just cut off the end, cut them in half, and we are filling up our Vitamix canister, which we will then blend up. So they work typically on the cutting and prepping of the tomatoes and getting them ready to blend. We absolutely love using our Vitamix mixer. If you have never seen these, it really chops everything up amazingly. So we just fill it up to the top, put the lid on, and then we begin to blend it, which we start at a slow speed and work all the way up to the highest speed, and it does an amazing job of turning these chopped up tomatoes into sauce. So once we blend up the tomatoes, we just fill them back up into our pot and began to cook this down slowly. We then add our other ingredients, which are all listed on the recipe, and we let this sauce cook down until all of the tomato foam is gone off the top. So this pot is already starting to cook down. We just keep stirring it slowly throughout the cooking process. So this batch of sauce has been cooking down now for about 30 minutes, and this is exactly what you want it to look like. So you'll see the foam is starting to rise to the top, which is perfect. This foam will cook right off, and then you can see this beautiful sauce coming underneath. So you just keep stirring this and letting this cook down until your foam is gone, and then you have the perfect sauce. So this sauce is now at the perfect point. You can see it is a nice thick consistency. All that foam is gone. It is a full boil, and it is ready to put into our jars. So if you compare it to this pot in the back that still has all the foam on it, you can see the difference. Once that foam is cooked down, then you will have this kind of a beautiful consistency, and we're ready to start canning. So it's also super important to wash all of your jars before you begin. If they have been in any kind of storage, it's really helpful to get them super clean and make sure that there's nothing in it that could be a little extra bacteria. So we just use soap and water and scrub them out before we get ready to use them. So we place all of our jars down in the canner and let them heat up for about 5 minutes till each of the jars are nice and warm, and then they are ready to add the sauce. So we take a small saucepan and add our rings and lids with some water, and we will heat these until they are at a full boil, and then our rings and lids are hot and ready to add onto our jars. So a couple quick tips for you. You definitely do not have to have any special equipment when you are canning at least this recipe. So we do use our hot water bath canner to heat up our jars, but you could totally just use a big 8 or 10 quart kettle. If you want to invest in a canning tool or two that I promise you will love, and again, these are not things you have to have, but there are things you can grab on Amazon or probably at a local store that carries any kind of canning supply. So the first thing is this funnel. So this is called a canning funnel, and it fits perfectly right down in one of your jars so that as you're pouring your liquid in, it goes straight into the jars and you don't have it spilling all over. So this canning funnel is an awesome thing to have. The second thing are these canning tongs. So they are used like this to lift your jars right out of your pot. It makes it really easy because they grab onto the jar and you can pick your jar up with these. So if you're thinking of investing in an item or two, even before a canner, at least for tomato sauce, because you can totally use a regular kettle, I would highly recommend these two items. You can make do without them for sure if you're just starting out, but if you're going to do a lot of sauce or a lot of canning, these will make your life a lot easier. All right, so we are ready to can. We grab a hot jar out of our pot and we set it on the counter, and then we use our funnel to put down in the jar, and we are going to get ready to fill it with our sauce. So we like to use a measuring cup and just simply pour it in. This works really well with filling your jar and getting it in through that funnel. So we just slowly pour until our jar is full. You want your jar to be full right here to this part of your rim. And you can see why using this kind of a funnel makes it so much easier. Very little mess as you're filling your jar. So once the jar is full, the next thing we're going to do is remove our funnel off of the top, and then we're going to just take our paper towel and gently wipe over the top. If you do not clean the top, it is very possible that the jar will not seal properly. So then we're going to go over and get one of our rings and lids out of our pot. We have those boiling. Bring that over and we are going to place it on the jar. So this is all hot, so sometimes we use a towel to do this, but you want to make sure that that lid is on as tightly as possible as you seal your jar up. And then that jar is all ready to go. It's complete. All right, guys, well, thanks so much for joining in today. It was so fun to share this tomato sauce recipe with you. So we just got our first batch out and we have some more jars to fill. So we thank you for listening in, and we hope you and your family will enjoy this sauce as much as we do. Make sure you subscribe below for more episodes coming, especially this fall, with some of these fun recipes that we love as a family. So thanks for listening in. Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.